Welcome to VML's Birdwatching at the Loeries. We're at the Mayor's Brunch and we're chatting to Matthew Bull, who is a jury member. You're a jury president. Film.
I like to call myself Il Presidente. Maybe
go.
That's a bit. I come from America, where we are now, as you all know, basically a dictatorship. So that's great.
So tell us a little bit about the jury.
Yeah.
And what your experience was.
Right. So there's always two parts of a jury, right? The one is the jury and the other is the work. So first of all, the jury, a nice eclectic mix of people from Africa and the Middle East. Quite a nice balance of people as well. And I thought the attitude and the engagement and the responsibility that the jury took was phenomenal, like really phenomenal. You know, one of the things I said in the beginning was, first of all, like for me, what an honor to be a jury president, because I grew up in South Africa and I have a lot to thank South Africa for, and I have a lot to thank the Loeries for from a career point of view. And I said that we, as judges, we have a responsibility towards the work and the people that make it, to actually give it our due attention, to give it a chance to win, and to be a positive force in people's lives as a jury. And I think everybody really stuck to that. You know, if you have to have a really high standard, because I want the standard to be world class, because that's where I come from in South Africa. Obviously globally, you know, at AB InBev and at Kraft Heinz, we are, you know, I hesitate to say this, so that's the truth, the best in the world creatively. So I believe in and you can't get to the best in the world unless you want to be the best in the world. So I believe that we have to really, as an industry in Africa and the Middle East, and we have to aspire to those things. So we pushed it up there. So that was the one thing. And then the work came along. And I did film, and I'm about to go and do integrated. And the work was very average. My message, though, to everyone, which I'll repeat on at the awards, is that don't feel isolated, because the work on film is very average around the world.
Oh.
And there's been a trend through the last few years where a lot of the energy and adventure and courage and experimentation has happened outside of film. And interestingly enough, if you think about it, in advertising, all the stuff has gone to engagement, and we, you know, and I include ourselves in this. I think we, you know, our side, AB InBev, our film is not as great as it can be, and it will be, because we are driven towards doing it. But if you then think of film itself, you think of Netflix, you think of Prime, you think of all the great new films that are coming out, mini-series that are coming out. It's incredible, you know. So I think what's the endemic thing? I think research is really damaged, because research, we don't research a lot of the other stuff, but we do the film.
Okay.
And people, human beings, go and they're asked to judge something, and instinctively, judgment's about finding something wrong in something versus something good. That's what happens with research. So actually what I want to do is, if we're going to do research, say to all the people looking at it, I want you to look at this piece of work and tell us what's right with it. Okay, not what's wrong with it. Because as a person, if I tell you what's right with you, you'll be far more powered, inspired, etc. So I think that needs to happen. Then I think writing's a problem in advertising. I think writing, everything's very short form, ideas-wise, etc. And the skill of writing a script and a narrative, etc., has diminished. I don't think that it's nurtured enough in the business. I think a lot of writers now go into, they'll go into literally go and work for Netflix or the sort of the country equivalent to that. So the opportunity for us is to make it an environment where writers want to be involved in again. So work was average, but I don't want people to be despondent in the region. I want them to say, this is a real opportunity. What are the lessons that we can learn from it?
Was there anything that stood out? I mean, you can't really say, but were there some pieces of brilliance, or was it just generally quite average across the board?
I think there was any brilliance from a point of view of overarching ideas. There wasn't any brilliance. There were a few extremely well executed good ideas. And that is one thing to say, that some of the executional parts of it, the direction and beyond were really really well done. So if we gave a gold for something, and I'm sure every jury member or jury president will say this, it was hard. It was next to impossible to get a gold, and we really held it to a high standard. Now, I will say that I've made a decision on one of the awards, which will be, I'm sure, controversial, because it's going to win a big prize for something that seemingly feels really tiny.
Okay.
Yet I thought it was the thing we awarded was genius. The creative performance was genius, and I think that is something that's going to be. So we'll see. I'll be rotten tomatoes thrown at me, whatever.
We look forward to seeing what that is.
Yes.
Sounds very intriguing. Thank you so much for chatting with us, sharing your insights. Enjoy the rest of Loeries Week.
Thank you
it's
very
lovely
much.
to have you in South Africa.
It's great to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.